ゴブリンスレイヤー、アナザーアドベンチャラー、ナイトメアフィースト。
What's up everyone, I'm Dan and a big thank you to Red Arc Games for the review code for Goblin Slayer Another Adventurer Nightmare Feast on the Nintendo Switch. Goblin Slayer brings the well-loved anime Goblin Slayer into the tactical RPG gaming sphere. This game is a fascinating blend of a narrative-driven adventure and a strategy game that presents fans with a brand new story. For those familiar with tactical RPGs and fans of Goblin Slayer, this game promises an experience that is both visually engaging and narratively rich. The story is the core of Nightmare Feast and unfolds in the four-cornered world. You play as a young girl who takes up her late father's mantle as the guildmaster of an adventurers guild in a remote region. This game, written by series creator Kumo Kageyo, crafts a fresh narrative for Goblin Slayer fans while incorporating beloved characters from the anime such as Goblin Slayer himself, Priestess, and High Elf Archer. These familiar faces add fan service without detracting from the new characters' development, who hold central roles within the story. The plot introduces a mysterious artifact that holds the power to resurrect the dead, driving much of the action as various factions race to control it. This narrative hook helps to create a suspenseful atmosphere, but be prepared for heavy text load. Before even diving into the first battle, players are bombarded with exposition which may slow the game's pace and test some players who just want to jump into a battle. Visually, the game art blends the classic SNES style top-down view with modern anime-inspired character designs. The pixel art during combat is richly detailed, giving each character and enemy distinct and lively appearances. Voice acting provided by renowned Japanese actors adds depth to the characters and helps bring the story to life. This is especially gratifying during pivotal scenes, making the extended narrative sequences feel more meaningful. For players who enjoy Japanese audio, this feature adds a lot of authenticity, although some may wish for a similar quality of experience in English dubbing. All the same, I always love voice acting and I think it helps to keep those long narrative sections feeling more engaging. The tactical RPG elements in Nightmare Feast are well thought out but lack a bit of punch. Battles take place on a grid-based map where positioning, terrain, and elemental compatibility dictate victory or defeat. Strategic thinking is necessary even at lower difficulty settings, as losing a single character can result in mission failure if you're not careful. This demanding approach gives weight to each move, forcing players to strategize over the placement of traps, manage health items, and employ powerful spells to turn the tide of combat. There's an element of chance that comes into play with a dice roll mechanic where rolling high can yield damage bonuses. While fun, this feature lacks balance and can feel underwhelming at times, adding to the sense that the combat lacks the intense satisfaction of similar tactical RPGs. Compared to genre classics like Fire Emblem, Night Feast combat could benefit from more visceral and dynamic feedback during attacks and spells. One of the game's strengths is the variety in quests and character progression. At the Guildmaster's base, players can recruit new adventurers, buy and upgrade equipment, and manage materials. There are 5 types of quests to undertake: main, normal, training, subquests, and story-based missions. The latter, interestingly, does not involve combat, serving as story-focused breaks that deepen the lore and add character background. This variety keeps the game engaging, as the mix of combat missions with story-driven quests adds a welcome pacing. The game's customization options also allows players to assemble a unique adventuring party, mixing and matching characters to suit different playstyles. Each adventurer has unique skills and a specific occupation, making team composition an essential part of preparation for each mission. The music in Nightmare Feast does not disappoint either. With an impressive range of compositions, the soundtrack enhances each scene, helping to differentiate between tension-filled battles, quiet moments at the guild, and intense story sequences. Whether it's a quiet melody underscoring a reflective moment or an energetic track for a challenging battle, the music keeps the experience immersive. Though sound effects could use a boost to make combat feel more impactful, the overall sound design does an admirable job of keeping players engaged. While Nightmare Feast has many merits, its pacing and lack of combat intensity are notable weaknesses. The game begins with an exposition-heavy sequence that may discourage players eager to jump straight into combat. And although the narrative is compelling, it often overstays its welcome, making players eager for more gameplay and less text. Did my finger hover over the skip button on a few occasions? Yes, sometimes I just wanted to jump into the next battle, but that's more about my impatience. The combat, though strategic, lacks the visceral thrill often seen in other tactical RPGs. There aren't any attack animations that the game cuts to, which keeps things feeling very simple. Attacks feel like they lack weight because of this, and while the dice roll mechanic adds some randomness, it doesn't make up for the need of more dynamic, responsive battle animations. Longer battles, which can last up to an hour, demand strategic patience, but sometimes end up feeling drawn out rather than climactic. Getting to grips with the system is intuitive, but I just wish there was a bit more refinement to it all. For example, having to back out of my character's movement options to see how far the enemy could move or attack. I wish there was a button that I could press and this would just overlay on the map so I could quickly plan my character moves. Nightmare Feast succeeds as an anime-inspired tactical RPG, complete with a well-written story, beautiful pixel art and a strong sense of atmosphere. The story-driven approach, while heavy on text, will appeal to fans of the anime and those who enjoy lore-rich RPGs. The visuals, voice acting and music contribute to a memorable experience, bringing the world of Goblin Slayer to life on the Nintendo Switch. However, the game's pacing issues and lack of impactful combat keep it from fully delivering on the promise of its genre. Players looking for a fast-paced tactical RPG might find themselves frustrated by the lengthy narrative sections and sometimes lackluster combat. But for fans of Goblin Slayer who are willing to dive into this one, they will find a fresh new story with intricate strategy elements and something that offers an experience worth exploring. Nightmare Feast may not redefine the tactical RPG genre, but it's a solid entry for fans of the anime and tactical RPG enthusiasts alike. Goblin Slayer: Another Adventurer Nightmare Feast is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $35.99 in the UK and $39.99 in the US. Big thanks once again to Red Arc Games for the review code. Thanks to you all for watching, and until next time.
Hey!
すみません。